Okay, Caveman in Japan here. Just showing you a different angle on using the teeter hang-ups inversion table. Um, so basically, it's a pretty easy setup. And you go in here and put your feet into the straps, lock it into place, and then slowly you use your arm weight to start the inversion process. I recommend easing into this. If you've already got back issues, you don't want to worsen the problem by being too aggressive, but you basically want to start off with short duration and kind of minimal inversion, and kind of do it daily for a couple minutes, then ramping up to 5, 10, 15 minutes. Do it slowly so you don't pull any muscles in your back. But again, you just use your arms to invert yourself. And so this is kind of an easy, kind of relaxing position here. I'll often just hang upside down and maybe dim the lights and do a guided meditation or something like that. Do some breathing exercises while upside down. And this is just with the kind of your body weight in this situation, and sometimes I'll push it a little further like that, and this gets me pretty close to almost fully perpendicular upside down, and I just kind of relax. Oh, yeah, I just had a nice lower back pop there, and sometimes I'll even kind of pull on my head a little bit to get the upper part of my spine stretched out as well. And so yeah, this helped me out a few years back. Back then, they didn't have distribution. Teeter didn't have distribution in Japan, so I ordered it online and had it shipped to my parents' house, and then my folks shipped it over to me to Japan. I was just in a lot of pain looking for any way to get out of it, and yeah, this was helpful. And but I pretty much do everything I do. I go to a chiropractor. There's a place in Kamiyacho called A Life, and it's definitely a solid chiropractic institute. I like them a lot. I use Watanabe Sensei there. I also do acupuncture. I use a guy named Ito-san. What's the name of his? I think it's called Shiba Medical near Shiba Daimon. Ito Sensei is awesome. I think there's a number of well-known sumo wrestlers that use his place. It's really a really small spot. He's only got 2 beds, I think, and he sometimes will go back and forth between patients. I do that, and I also, of course, do just typical, Western massages, and I also go to a place called Caveman in Tokyo, all over Japan, really. Caveman, that's probably the best value out there for like traditional kind of massages. You just show up, and it's about turns out to be about, I don't know, I think 7,000 yen for 65 minutes. And all the staff are really well trained, so I like them a lot. Oh, this feels so good. So yeah, just stretching out the lumbar, cervical vertebrae. Oh, that feels really good. And then the more you do this, the more limber your back gets. And again, if you can avoid sitting down at a computer all day like most of us do, that's helpful. I created my own standing desk. I basically had, at my office, I had just the desk that the company gave me, and then I went to IKEA, picked out another desk to put on top of that desk, and then a keyboard stand, and what I would do is, and then have a screen on top of the IKEA desk, and you know, you keep your elbows at a 90-degree angle your forearms perpendicular to the ground when you're standing on the keyboard stand, and then you keep the screen at you know, eye level, and then I just basically would type and, you know, work on whatever spreadsheets or presentations I was doing, and then when I would get tired, I would just sit down and work directly off the laptop, which I had underneath. And then if I felt I was sitting down for too long, I'd stand up and start on the keyboard stand. And so that's a pretty inexpensive way to create a standing desk. I mean, you don't have to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on these rope things that kind of go up and down. I think that was probably the most economical way to do it. And everyone at the office thinks that I was nuts, but you know, it worked for me. I mean, I think there was a study out recently that said smoking or sitting all day was almost as bad as smoking, or worse than smoking. So again, we definitely want to move around, and if you're starting off really overweight like I was, a standing desk is a great way to just you know, start easing into a more active lifestyle. So anyway, and then after kind of decompressing like that, you know, your body's not so used to being decompressed and upside down, so you want to slowly get back into a parallel to the ground position and just relax here for a little bit of time. I mean, I've been doing this for a while now, so I don't need to do it as slowly, but when you first start doing this, you don't want to shock your body. That's not the goal. You want to slowly get your vertebrae stretched out and see if you can get some nice cushiony discs in there again. And then, so again, I very slowly, you just kind of put your hands further down towards the ground, and that the weight of your arms and hands brings you more to an upright position. And then finally you're there, and then I even like to stay here for a little while, let my spine get used to gravity again. And then I can slowly get up, unlatch the foot thing down here. And so that was a quick demonstration of how to use the teeter hang up.